All right, guys, here we are to talk about episode 4, season 2 of Stranger Things.
AKA Will the Wise.
Will the Wise.
Seems like only yesterday we were talking about episode 3.
We are getting closer to that moment of spoil picture.
Oh, good.
So
So, I mean, to keep the theme going, we'll open right with that.
Yes.
Where you saw a picture.
I saw a picture of
a creature.
Yes. And
Okay.
that creature looked much more like it looks right now. Because
Okay.
I've been trying not to say, where I'm like,
So,
it's
yeah,
a baby Demogorgon.
I was just going to say, so, like, without anything or like, whatever the fuck, so, like, the Demogorgon didn't look like, at any stage of its development, it was a quadruped.
I don't believe so, no.
So, part of me is almost like, is this like an Aliens, where they're all an alien, it's all, they're all xenomorphs, but this is a four-legged, like, a version of a xenomorph.
Certainly possible.
I don't know
I've
yet.
been wanting to talk and
Yeah.
make my guesses about that for so long
Okay.
because, and while in the picture I saw, his mouth wasn't, like, open like that, it looked
You
like...
saw, like, the
I saw the
slits or
seams,
whatever.
and it made me immediately go, oh, God, I think that's a Demogorgon. Like,
Right, so I don't know if it's like a, I really hope it doesn't grow up to be the exact same monster from season 1 or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck, but I kind of do love the idea that everything in that world, like everything in our world typically has like 2 eyes, 1 mouth, the eyes look
Yeah.
like there's like a theme, right?
Sure.
And there's a couple flavors, but there's a basic theme. If everything from the upside down has the pedal head fucking flaps with the gaping maw of destruction. I like that.
I don't hate
could
that
be cool.
at all.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Maybe Cthulhu's shadow face will open up
Maybe.
towards the end, and a big beam will come out,
Yes.
and then all the 11 and 12 and 7 and 22, and everyone will come together and fucking shoot a big beam back at it. Out of their chest, a big Care Bear beam
Let's
rainbow
hope.
will come out.
So something we had speculated, I think, and we were close, was
Yeah.
that the light was what was hurting it. Really, it was the heat from that lamp, not the light from that lamp.
Okay.
So it's a heat-based
Yeah.
downfall. I assumed when you saw the flamethrower taking back the plants, it was the fact that it was a flamethrower doing it, but it's honestly just because it's warm.
Do you think it's just the heat that
I
it's
think
like
it's
scaring
just
it
the
away?
heat. I think it's either either
It does
heat kills it or
scream,
yeah.
I'm trying to think if it ever interacted with fire in the first season. I like that.
I don't
No,
think
no, no.
so.
So like I thought. So I guess in the AV room it was just like a bright light that was hot, so they put it over it because it freaks out by like the light.
Yes,
I thought or whatever.
yes.
Yeah.
But,
Because obviously in like the terrarium it's like hot, and they call out like, well, they're ectothermic, right, or whatever the fuck.
Yes.
And I was like, uh-huh.
No, so it's a heat-based thing because the warm bath was like, oh hell no, kid, you're gonna kill me.
So I love that. So like. At first, it's like Will is cold. Wait, like Dart, and then I'm like, well, no, Dart's not cold. Dart like hates the warmth, but that's not, it's like the is he cold though? I don't know yet. And then obviously they get into it, and I go, oh, okay. I psyched myself out on that one. Good times.
Yeah, well, because in the Upside Down, it's nighttime all the time. There is no sun.
Disgusting and wet.
Yeah.
There's flakes floating
I
around.
love that. I think whoever's idea that was to
Yeah.
have like this weird like upside down Pompeii effect. I'm like, I love it.
No, and it's like the overall, because at the end Hop ends up in like a tunnel of it in like the real world, right?
Did you love that? Let's just you can't just bring that up and not mention it. I love that it was like burrowing to China. He goes in this way and then he's upside down on their plane. So like it's literally the upside down. Like
I was gonna say, like, it was that an effect because the camera turns or whatever.
No, that's how it was. He jumps through the hole and now he's right side up on that side of the hole.
Yeah, he feels or whatever.
So cool.
The difference or something like that.
So cool.
I know. I like that a lot. I was afraid he was gonna just be like stabbing like a vine, and it was gonna go like, and like something was gonna happen or whatever. But yeah,
I certainly did not expect it to be the tunnel.
Go into it.
Jesus Christ, the balls on this man! It's a hole, and he just goes. He knows damn well what exists in this world. That there are things to be afraid of. That like bullets do not stop, and he's like, you know what? I'll just jump in there. I got this.
This hole seems big enough for me to go in. Let me just go in. That hole that he dug was ridiculous.
He did dig a gigantic
He dug
hole.
like a crater into the ground.
Yeah.
But he's like "Ugh," and like sweaty, and there's like fucking shit in his mustache.
And he's a
like,
smoker.
Oh.
He shouldn't
Yeah.
be. He should
No, and
be
he's
dying.
like, oh fuck, like he's into it. I like it a lot.
That's just to continue backward now
say,
with the balls on this man.
Backtrack the whole time.
We have
here.
him and 11 have an interaction.
I have a section in my notes.
Where
dedicated
11
to this.
is like pretty much just acting like a normal kid here, except for a kid that has like powers.
Real quick though, so like last episode, he he like sped off, right?
Yeah.
We didn't really know if he was going to catch up to her. I kind of thought in my head, well, maybe he'll like pull over on the side of the road and like she'll be on the road, like walking home or something. Or who knows how they're going to like interact. Fucking super money genius cash fucking like you just see like the glowing bud and he's just fucking on the porch like we gotta talk, get your ass in here, like pissed off or whatever, like the parent like you stayed out too late, lost track of time, you're supposed to come home when the street lights come on, they're waiting for you. She was like ugh, he's like ugh. That was great.
But her like, there's legit fear, because this child is a child, and her tantrum, it like whether she does something she may regret a moment afterward, it won't stop the fact that it's done.
Yeah.
She crashes his leg with a chair, she flips it over, she breaks all the glass. They live in the woods. It's gonna be cold as shit.
I know. I loved him boarding stuff up and just being all pissed off. But no, that's super scary, and you could tell he went through this. Again, amazing like gamut of emotions because he's coming at it right. He's like, what does he say? Something like, there's only, no, I don't lie to you. I do everything. I like feed you. I clothe you. I do all this stuff over there, and all you have to do is follow these simple rules, and you can't even do that. And he's just laying into her, and then she's like screaming, you're just like she compares him to Matt Modine and stuff, and he's like,
just
oh,
like
fuck.
Papa.
Right? Oh, fucking amazing.
I hate you.
And the I hate you thing was dope, but to follow that up and then to see his turn where he's like legitimately scared of her, but also being like, hey, like what the fuck, don't do that, right? It's like when you get large enough where like your parents can't physically handle you anymore or whatever, but in this very exaggerated way.
It's horrifying the idea, like, because your kids at a point will overpower you.
Right.
You're getting older, they're getting older, but you're getting like brittle and frail while they're getting stronger at their peak. And this is that, but with like a superhero.
This is that to another, because your parents are like getting into 50 and you're like getting into 20 or something, depending on the worse or whatever.
In that ballpark.
Right. So like. Yeah, you're like hitting hitting the gym, and they're like I need a certain amount of calcium or else I don't know.
Yeah.
Spicy food, right? So, but this is like a million times worse, and like I love that he's not equipped for this in the first place.
No.
He keeps making these faces and being like, ugh, like what the fuck? Like I have to do this now.
Well, because he doesn't have going for him what an average family has, where you raise them from the beginning, you set up certain things. She's like barely raised. She's like a technically housebroken dog, but like, you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, no, she's like
the normal things aren't instilled. She doesn't understand like why should you and why would you understand fear when you are like a fucking god?
No, the whole world must be twisted and weird. It's almost like the Purple Man, right? Where she's always had crazy powers. The only relationships she's had have been really fucked up until she broke out in the thing with Mike and them and all that stuff.
So it's hard to see that this man legitimately has your best interest at heart. Whether he's going about it in the exact way. I feel like if he would have come at this in a more compassionate way, like express how much he cares about this child rather than like the yelling, it may have gone a totally different way, but that's who the character is.
It's great because he let his anger and his like frustration and his inability, like he starts sentences and then doesn't finish them, like he's just like
or
like,
thinks better of them.
And like that thing where he goes to the door and he's like, listen, about last night, and you're like, want this place cleaned up by the time I get home, and you see his like facial expression, just like, oh, it's perfect, it's wonderful.
Because he's like, I didn't mean to call you a brat,
No, because he wants to say I'm sorry or whatever, but then he's like, no, I have to like, I guess I have to teach her or something. Like fuck, like I just want to hug her and be like, I'm sorry, but I gotta be like, no, because she's got to learn, because otherwise she's gonna kill everyone, right?
Yeah.
Like he's doing all this,
He's the first line of defense against the worst scum of the universe, as they say in Men in Black.
Wonderful.
But yeah, if he fails as her second father, she very easily could become a murderer, a crazy person.
No, because he says like, do you want to go back to the lab? Do you want that? Whatever fuck. But honestly, right, if he fucks up in some other way, right, and she's just on her own, like, what's gonna happen? The government's gonna eventually get called in and do what? Like, try to like, can she stop bullets yet? Like how much of like a weight capacity
is she?
Yeah, because once she can do that or whatever, I'm thinking like when I was joking about it's like an anime and it'll be like her versus 12 or something like that. Like like telekinesis powers can translate to like anything, so she can fly and have like like metal things around her and like block things or whatever. She could potentially, there's just blood gushing out of her nose and just everything going crazy all around us.
It was weird though this time because certain things there was no blood involved, and like that I thought took more power than certain things that have caused her to bleed. But I think it also might be an emotional standpoint. Like
I know,
where
it's weird.
You are in your own head while you're doing things. But I love the character a lot.
No, yeah, because I don't know, because you would think that like the blood's because like you're like overheating almost, right?
Yeah, like you've stressed your body past its point of like my blood can be held.
Well, like a nosebleed's the international symbol for like a mental like whatever the fuck, right?
Like
there was that movie with Drew Barrymore where like Firestarter. Yeah, where the dad gets the nosebleeds and all that stuff from doing stuff. So that's like that's a nice little trope there. But yeah, it's like, is it like the distance, like the amount of energy that it takes to do a certain thing, like the bookshelf versus the couch versus the door, like which things cause what to happen, right? And maybe because both times she's like clairvoyantly teleported to visit someone, she's had like the nosebleed. Yeah. So is it like it takes more power to like go farther away? It's like very interesting.
That makes sense.
It's interesting.
This one I thought was weird because, not that it's any stranger than connecting to Will, but Will she's actually met before and like has an idea of where he'd be. This person, it's just a picture. You don't know the person from anything, or where they could ever be, and she finds them. Like, what are you linking off of? It's like when
like, how are you tuning into their frequency if you literally just have like a flat physical image of them, right? This is like those FBI like remote imaging people where they would give them information. They would try to like psychically find people like anywhere in the world or whatever. It's weird. It's interesting.
It's certainly cool. I also, like, whenever I see those type of shots, I'm like, how are they filming this? I love how it looks, like this, the sheer blackness. With water, but it's lit with no reflection. Like,
so I, like, whenever we watch something, right, we're always looking for something like that.
Yeah.
For scenes like that, and for, there have been scenes like in the snow or in, like, the mud or whatever, I just think, like, God, anytime anyone fucks up and they have to reset this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, she's walking in, like, wetness in, like, the water, and the ripples catch like the reflections and all that stuff. So you'd have to like clear the set, wait, and it would have to like slowly like slow down. The actress is just in the chair, like, okay, we're getting ready. Okay, good. Like this whole fucking thing's happening. It's like a lot of work.
No, it's all worth it because it comes together. It looks amazing.
I know.
What do we have here? So they find.
Well, that's the whole that's like the Hop arc basically. But
that's Hop.
Like Hop and Elle, you know.
Yes, they're wrapped.
But we also have Hop and Joyce. We have a situation there.
So Hop's being a lot less forward than Joyce is, and I don't know if I like that or not. So to not tell about 11, I can understand.
Like forthcoming, right?
Yes,
with like, well, by the way, I know this from across town.
Because she's tipped her hand completely. The second she knew anything, she called him and was like, there's problems, come, my son's right here.
So she's called 8 times this morning, Hop. Please help her.
Not that I think he should be dumping 11's business out there, but he could. Because Joyce has proven that she trusts him completely, and it might help to have a female, another parental figure that could help this.
No, I agree.
I don't see why Will can't know. He's proven himself to be trustworthy in this situations as well. Yeah. But assuming you don't want it's the safest. You tell nobody a secret. No one knows your secret. Period. I understand that. But why not tell her about the vines and the pumpkins and this and that? Because, especially now, he's like, is he drawing vines?
Because he just says vines and then pieces out. Yeah, I know, because, Joyce works in the town, right? The farmers are part of the town.
Yeah.
You would have thought that you'd heard rumors. Those cops are idiots. They're probably saying stuff. Yeah, it smelled like a nursing home and everything was wet. It was disgusting. And you probably hear some shit, there might be rumors. She might even, have heard something or know something. Who knows? Hop spent like each of the last 2 days fucking around with all these different things. He's out of the loop almost. She could be his connection into the pulse of the town. It's
a little strange that he's not.
People are scared, Hop. All the farmers, right?
Yeah, that's big business. If all your farms in town, it seems to be a farming town. At this point, there's 10 farmers.
I mean, it's October, right? We just had Halloween, but all the pumpkins got fucked up from all the farms.
Yeah.
So there's just you could have worked in some stuff. Could have been some things.
What do you think? So there's these big tunnels underneath the.
Talk about the actual thing.
We've had psychic visions of things plowing through
Zooming, there. It's Tremors, baby. This has all been a Tremors prequel.
Well, what are you thinking? Are these the tendrils of Cthulhu coming through? Are there creatures that are burrowing through the floor? Who knows? It could be anything. Because then and you do see the what do you call it? The petals of bullshit. The upside dandruffs.
Upside dandruff.
So that is the upside down that he's in, presumably. The upside down is right under their feet.
Yeah, I feel like it's emanating from the lab, like he's saying. Vines, really more roots because they're totally underground. But I don't want to get all, what is the word for plant scientist?
Botanist.
Botanist. I don't get all botanical on them here, but yeah. They're more likely roots. But yeah, they're like knocking it back wherever it's coming out of there. But much like a tenacious weed, it's finding any other weak spots or stuff to like come out probably in all directions in like 3D.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't know. Maybe there's another hole somewhere.
That's what I'm wondering. Where it's weird for it to be all coming from the center as the lab.
Yeah.
And to not understand, the crack we have in time-space or whatever also goes down a little bit. Because it seems like a pretty obvious, that's the opening. There's this hole in the wall.
And it's weird for them to not know, so that opens the door for maybe they do know.
When 11 fractured this dimensional rift, maybe it did make one super below the ground, but that was not a problem at first because you went through right to a wall. There's nothing there. But then over time, things have
slowly grabbing out.
Exactly. It's been a year to dig.
I'm trying to think if anything happened where that would explain that. But this got me thinking about 11 in the school where there was a hole in the wall there. So what happened to that hole? Could they close that one, but they can't close the one back at home base? That's interesting to me.
Well, I don't know if they even know about that hole.
That hole's right in one of the hallways of the school.
But it didn't seem like it was visible from the other side, maybe.
I don't know. There was a
kind of like when the tree holes,
where
it was there, and then it kind of seals itself a little bit.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Fuck. Could they just not have? Could that just be there? That's fucked
Or
up.
maybe there's a bunch of. Maybe it's like one-way glass.
It's a mirror.
Where there's a hole here, but when you see the hole on the other side, it just looks like a hole in the wall. It doesn't. It's not actually a portal this way. It's only a portal that way.
She came through one of the paws in the wall of the school's mascot thing, and I thought it was just this big gaping hole. I guess it could have been unopened at that point, and she was just seeing through it until she opened it.
I don't know.
But it doesn't seem to be happening in or around the school or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But I know that there's
not Sunnydale.
I know that there's at least one other hole, which makes me curious about how all this works. I'm sure they will explain it, because I think Paul Reiser, for all of his whatevers, literally doesn't want this to get out of hand, right? He probably doesn't.
I assure you he does not want it to get out of hand.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll get things explained to us, because I don't know if they'll ever actually know things. It'll all, I think, be inference.
Yeah.
Because how could you know unless Cthulhu brain? No, that's the second gateway. There are 6.
Well, I assume Hop now. So this is either going to be Hop's crawling through tunnels for the next episode, or he goes fuck and pops back out. And
I would pop right back out.
I mean, I would have been I would have gotten a periscope, just like a mirror, like you're in prison. No, I don't know. So something's going to happen, right? And either Hop's going to explore the tunnels. Or he's going to get Paul Reiser, or he's going to get someone else, and together they're going to go through all of the tunnels. I assume they will find an exit or an entrance or a hole somewhere in the tunnels. They'll try to trace it back or whatever the fuck. That would be my assumption. And if not, then that's because something will chase them out. One of those chittering monsters will come out of the and they'll be run and run the other way.
My first thought immediately whenever I see a big hole like that, and hole's not the word. Hole is what Hop dug. That's a tunnel. You see a tunnel, you're what dug this? This isn't a natural formation. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
And so the way he broke it with the shovel, I almost think that these are hollow vines of this. You know how in the Upside Down everything has tentacles all over it, growing or whatever? I think it's big hollow versions of that. And I think that the 4-legged monsters are meant to run through it quickly, and it's an underground network of tunnels or something like that.
It's like the internet.
It's basically a series of tubes, if you will. That was my interpretation just from surveying the situation. A lot more happened in this episode, I guess. We should fill out the Joyce thing.
Yes,
if you don't mind.
No, go right ahead.
She goes to the school. She just pulls onto the lawn. And I said out loud, just park anywhere or something like that.
Well, she had to check to see if Will was even there. His bike was there.
She tore in there. It was wonderful.
Oh yeah.
Concerned mother, super into it. And they find Will in the field, right? And you're cutting back and forth between he's still getting fucking invaded by this disgusting shadow monster, shadow mist, whatever smoke monster thing, and he's all catatonic and the real Will, and she shakes him out of it and brings him back, possibly just in time to not have the full thing happen, maybe because he's still got whatever in him. I don't know. But he's changed. He's different. He's not doing well. Things are happening.
Yeah, no, Will's definitely got some shit going on here.
Fucking yeah.
It's certainly an issue when you have no control over what dimension you're in, and then a demon is invading your body.
No, he's having a rough time. I want to compliment this actor, and I want to say I knew he had it in him. There's that part where he's like, "It got me. I felt it everywhere. I still feel it," and he's crying and making like faces welling up. I wrote down that sentence, and then I wrote down acting. Wow, or whatever next to it.
In my notes, I made a Kevin Spacey joke
about. I feel it everywhere. I still feel Kevin Spacey. Oh, poor House of Cards. So yeah, we already talked about. So again, awesomely using the teachers. I feel like the teacher hasn't been like established in this season yet, though.
No, and I thought he's a cool guy.
Yeah,
they're only, I like when they look for like he gives them the information. Oh, you would need lots of salt. Oh, no.
Yeah. Like they're only using him as like almost like a callback to the first season. Now they haven't had a thing with him yet, because they even have him do like the salute to Dustin on the way out. And I'm like, he's such a cool guy. That's fucking awesome. Goes home and watches monster movies. But no, like again, it's like the voiceover of like this is the classic fear response, and like you're seeing the back of Will's neck, and like he's sweating, and like, oh god, that tub is like death to me. I can't do it. Like great, device, filmic device.
I want to see him back at his house with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I want them to interrupt him with another phone call.
Was it an Asian girlfriend?
Can't remember.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was the stereotypical like the nerd has an Asian girlfriend thing almost, which is just that much better because it's so long ago. No, so they get into it, right? Hop finally shows up. Awesome, sketching montage.
Yeah,
the
so
kid's cranking.
that was the only part that I wasn't like in love with, just because I feel like that kind of thing is overdone. We're like, it makes this like.
I know.
Like you knew that was coming the second he started dropping pictures.
It was in the trailer.
Okay, was it? I don't remember.
So I knew that it was coming. Also, like. At first, when he's like dropping them, I thought they were almost falling into the right place, which I really would have hated.
That would have been amazing, though, because that would have been difficult to do.
If he can just throw it and it will go like this and land where it's supposed to be or whatever. Yeah. No, I know. I'm happier that they had to like set it up though or something like that. But this made me think of that X-Files episode.
Which X-Files episode?
I think, and this is all from memory, so it is wrong. I think there was a kid, sort of like autistic and messed up. Something happened. I think there's a girl missing, and the kid I think is making ones and zeros or like two different symbols on pieces of paper, just like endlessly. And then end of the episode, Mulder's up on the second floor, and the kid has arranged all and I'm looking at these pieces of paper, like, what the fuck is this shit? This kid's crazy, whatever. And like weird like patterns of ones and zeros, and from. Now from like the second floor, he's like arranged all the pieces of paper, and it's a giant for the whole living room. It's like a giant picture of the missing girl, like in like dot matrix, like print format, whatever.
That's
the fuck.
Dope.
So it's kind of like this. It's kind of like whatever. I have to put it together, to make like a picture. This doesn't make a picture, so it's not quite the same.
This would be very hard to put together because it's all tendrils. Like you're lining up just lines.
I know.
So like you could almost make anything like and the shape's not really important with this, but it was still a little weird.
And it doesn't because like the pieces of paper don't touch end to end; they overlap. And like it's just abstract colors. And like I love that like they solve it like together. She thinks maybe you should draw it instead. He says, she says, wait a minute, they go together. He's putting stuff together. There's a whole montage. Draw, throw, late, turn it. Oh shit, it works. Oh god. And then at the end they're just like over in the corner all scrunched up because the living room's still full of tendrils.
I love the bit that goes up over the couch.
Just like fucking had to attach everything and just I guess this goes left, fuck, and all that stuff. It like reminds you of that haphazard thing where she did with the lights and all that business where it's just like, well, this is our lives now. We have to solve a mystery and just fuck everything up. And then she says, it's some dirt color. This is blue, not red. Like they're sort of like putting it together and stuff. And then his like vines fucking leaves. And if I were her, I'd be like, honey, are you okay? No, Hop left. He shouted vines and ran out of the house. Yeah, I don't know. This is fine. We're fine.
Do you think that if they were to shove Will into a thing of hot water, do you think that the demon would be expelled from him?
Something happens. Yeah. I wonder if that'll be how they fix the problem.
I feel like heat could do something pretty awesome for him.
I would have loved for the science teacher to be setting something up. Because I feel like that should be like the formula here. Is like people, everyone comes together, right? Like Like, oh god, what's a good example? This is a bad example. In like Thor 2, right? She had to like make the dimensional things, but Thor had to like deliver them, right? So like Eleven could like deliver the thing that makes the heat, but we need Will to like transport us into the Upside Down with all the equipment, but the science teacher had to make it, and the team's like, it's the whole thing coming together.
What are your thoughts on Maxine and what's her brother's name?
Billy.
What are your thoughts on Billy and Maxine?
This is super interesting. Because they've continued to spend approximately 30 seconds developing the characters per episode, which I'm appreciating because I hope that means we're building to somewhere or whatever. Because why introduce these characters for no for no reason? So like if you want to start at the end, right? He notices Lucas talking to her, and she seems upset, and then he becomes like a super abusive fuck. Like, grabs her, shouts at her, the whole thing, says to stay away from this person, and literally drops, like, Max, you're a piece of shit, but we're family now, whether I like it or not. And you're going to learn something when you get older, right? You have to stay away from certain people, and this is one of them. You hear me?
Yeah.
Stay away from him. Just like, fuck, right?
Do you think he's undercover?
I think, based on how much of a dick he's like made out to be, that like yes, something's going on. He's like an anti-hero. I think he's gonna show up and do something, or this has all been an act or something, right? Something fucking going on.
Well,
because no one is this much of a fuck.
Well, there are. She and him are family, but it's probably through marriage, like stepbrother or stepsister or something, or. The fun alternative, which this is not true. I'm going to go on record saying I don't actually believe this.
I believe it 100%.
But it would be cool if both of them had numbers too.
Yeah.
And like we're family because we're both in the program.
Yes.
Like Papa was our father.
Exactly.
And he's like, that's number like 10 and 9 or something.
Yeah, I wonder about that. I thought that too, and I want that to be true. Although that would mean like, because he says we're family now.
Yeah.
As if like,
well,
I guess
now we're both in this program.
I thought they were taken as youngsters and like raised in the program. Maybe they're all not. There's so many ways it could go.
Well, at that point when they were first born, they were not family. Presuming he went into the program before her, they weren't family that whole time, and then bam, she got there, and now we're family.
It sounded like
again.
Something...
Don't think that this is what's happening.
No, but
I had to throw it out there as a possibility.
No. I think it's something like that. Something's going on, right? Something. Thing on the wing. No, because like his interactions with Steve, so he's laying into Steve super hard. King Steve, was that even a thing? I don't know.
Well, Steve was the most popular kid in school.
He was the cool kid, right?
Until Billy
shows up and insists on playing skins. I don't know why. Just any excuse to take off his shirt. He's kind of a creep. No, him like this like delicate, I don't know what to call it, fucking thing where he fucking gets in his face, is like relentless, pretends to help him up, but like gives him advice. This weird, and then gives him more advice while they're naked after turning off the water when he has shampoo in his face.
Well, that's being a dick.
I know. It's this like relentless being a dick, but almost like passing notes, like hey, I'm gonna try to hit you, like you're gonna want to duck. Okay, good. Oh, next time. Like he's doing this weird thing to like guide him. I got the
impression from that maybe he's actually like that's where my theory started.
Yeah.
I was like maybe he's actually older. Like maybe he's actually like in his 20s.
He's 42. Yeah, that's why.
I don't know.
I definitely think that they're not just like, oh, we moved to town and we have whatever we have, right? Because they would have showed definitively like their house by now. They would have showed that they're like there's Uncle whoever or there's no one. That it's just him. He's like fucking eat it, all right? I'm sorry, I can't cook like fake mom or something, right? Like there'd be some development to show that because right now like he speeds off in that car and you never see them again until like the next episode.
Yeah,
that's how it always ends. Where are they going? The lab? Somewhere else? Holy shit, Stefan.
They're home, probably. So we got the evolution of...
Holy shit, Stefan. Yeah.
Now it's eating the cat.
Oh, yeah. The minute she was like, mittens, and like putting like the fucking thing, whatever the cat's name is, where you're like...
Eating the kibble, not kibbles, bits. What was it called?
Meow Mix? Whatever?
Looked like fucking Cheerios.
Looks like Cheerios, my friend. Yeah, but she's putting it in like the bowl and like calling for the cat. Where are you? I was like, oh, God. Oh, God. Right?
Yeah, so I don't know how you're going to explain that. And it seemed to like kill it like not super quickly because it looked like there were scratch marks on the wall. Like, no!
No, it was a gruesome scene. There's some fur over here. There's some blood over there. There's shit on like the things.
Yeah, that's going to be rough. And what do you do at that point? You can't keep it as a pet anymore. Because
the
next day it could be twice as big and kill your parents. Like
no, this like this felt like the turn for me. I feel like Dustin runs out of the house or says like, "Mom, we gotta go. There's a wild animal that got in. It killed Mittens." They'll just like make something up and like be like, "We have to fucking get out of this house."
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe it jumps out the window because there's no more like, "LOL, you're such a cheeky rogue."
I still think it'll go at least one more episode where
he's hiding it or whatever.
He's hiding it. He hides the body of the cat. It's still friendly enough to him.
I was going to say, like, it's going to have to really buddy up to him for this to be okay, right?
I don't know. I could feel at least another episode.
Was that cat a dick in, like, the first season? Was it, like, and, like
I don't
doing
remember
something?
The cat at all.
In my head, I was like, that fucking cat. And then I'm like,
fuck that cat.
That's the only way I could see. It would have to really be nice and cuddly to him because it's eating his cat right in front of him. He did not seem happy about it.
Well, even if you didn't like the cat, your mom liked the cat.
No, and, like, it's so complicated now for your life.
Yeah.
But he was bonding with it. He did see, like, whatever.
So we got the what do you call it? The sister and the brother now are doing their thing with their Walkman recorder.
Nancy and Jonathan
are trying to get some shit on the, and they got their dirt. They recorded the whole thing.
That plan went off without a hitch.
It's weird they weren't frisked at all.
And now they're leaving town with it. I don't even know, right?
I did think that was like, it was a creepy scene though. Like, car doesn't start. Oh god, is that one looking at us? And they're all looking at us. Oh god. Oh, they're here, and they're surrounded.
No, fucking awesome. That was some old school like Body Snatchers or like an old spy movie type shit, and just those little and like the cuts got quicker and quicker, and you just saw people like glancing at them and looking at them more and more, and it built up, and the music and everything was a fabulous scene, and just the dude being like, "You sure you don't need that ride?" and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it's like fuck, like you're fucked.
No, that was interesting, and we didn't really learn anything more than we knew there.
If we were doing screenshots for this, to show during this talk, though, I would have grabbed when Paul Reiser's standing in between both of them, and they're behind the glass, and it's all lit by the flamethrower, and he says, "I have to stop the truth from spreading too," just like those weeds there. So we understand each other, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that was fucking awesome. Paul Reiser playing this very nice, like he doesn't really raise his voice or get too overt about it, but he's but he's a super, like, at first you're like, well, maybe he's like a substitute teacher, and he's like, this shit's fucking crazy. Can we like fucking clean this up? I'm trying to contain all this, but he's obviously like bad, right? He's obviously, does not care much about the human life of the people in the town. Cares more about something else. We'll see.
Yeah, well, and he's out of his depth. This is something where how could you prepare for it?
No,
and
right?
He's doing things where you're like, oh, that's unexpected. I thought I just had to, flamethrow this thing once a week and we'd be all right.
I don't even get that vibe from him. I feel like he actually knows everything that's going on or something, and it's like deeper. Because I wanted to think that at first too. I wanted it to be like, oh, it's kindly Grandpa Paul Reiser.
Oh no, I think he's an evil character, 100%. I just don't know how much he actually knows.
I feel like he's like, these people are kind of annoying me. I will kill whoever I have to. Well, I have these orders, or we have this mission that we're doing, or something like that. And it's super cold. I dig it.
Maybe.
We get this. So the recording was their plan, like, all along.
Yeah, I think they want to go to the newspaper or something.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, like, just say something while you're trying to think of what to say. I think they're gonna go to that person who was investigating Barb's death. But I don't know why they're leaving town to do that, because I thought he was still in town.
Yeah.
But he's like, do you still want to go through with this? And they have this evidence, and then it says leaving Hawkins or whatever. So I feel like they're going to tell someone, and he's the only one we know of that they could possibly be telling.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. You got any buttons for this episode?
Buttons, the Hoppinator, the shovel shot, the like cool, bitchin' synth riff that plays. After Hop says Vines and he leaves is my favorite shot, I think, of the entire show so far. There's like a tight shot from like behind his head with like the shovel, and it's playing this like awesome grinding thing. I was like, fuck yeah, Hop, yeah! Got me all pumped.
The music is, in general, something that's amazing in the show.
Yeah, I'm actually a part of what I'm looking at for like tutorials and other business and
like how to do this music.
I mean, because I loved all the John Carpenter stuff back in the day. The music's simpler from a technical standpoint.
I think simple music is harder because it requires so much more.
That's why I said from like a technical standpoint. Yeah. So I don't have to learn or get too like complicated about stuff. It's very simple. It's a sawtooth wave fed back through the sound of this crab committing suicide, all pumped through an old shoe. Also, last thing.
Sure.
Last thing. There's been no fallout for Jonathan leaving Will alone on Halloween.
I don't think it's clear that it happened yet.
I know. Several people have like reviewed the tape, but like leaving him alone didn't really cause like an actual problem, so they might just drop it. But they made a thing out of it before, where he was like, "If I let you go, you have to be cool, right?" And he was not cool. He fucking.
But I don't know if there's any actual proof that they were not together, this and that, or there's bigger problems right now. The fish to fry is not Jonathan. It's
no,
oh
and
my God, Cthulhu's coming.
And I'm not worried about it, but it was a thing that I thought the show wanted me to remember for a reason, and they seem to have dropped it, and that's not like them. I'm concerned.
All right, guys, let us know what you thought about this episode. Leave comments in the comment section below. Don't die in a fire, and we will see you next time.